Cool. So this is sounding dope, which I love. Ultimately, where we end up is here. So yeah, as always, we'll be starting with a blank project at 174 BPM and seeing where we end up, which obviously is here. And yeah, let's see what happens. One of my favorite drum and bass artists is a guy called Blade Runner. Blade Runner is at its core jungle, also some like roller style in there as well. So that's what I want to go for today, a bit of a roller. So what I'm looking for at the moment is just some shuffles. That should do for now. So what we actually want is, and then like little, basically what he does is he has little fills, but he changes the sound of the snares, so it's a little bit different. So what is this actually? So that sort of wants to be a little bit more delayed. So I'm just going to put all of those across and have these snares. So this snare here, I do want it to be different. So let's actually see what it sounds like without any of the low. It's a bit too jungly for what I want. I want it to be a little bit more drum and bass orientated. It's going to have some like jungle shuffles and stuff in there, but it's not going to be an amen beat basically. So what I'm working with at the moment, it sounds like this. So the trick is as well with Blade Runner is there's loads of tiny little iterations of things like mainly the snares. So here now what we need is some lower snares. We're just going to basically chuck in a bunch of snares here. So like that is a nice sort of tight snare. So now this is going to be the one that gets a bit more interesting because we've got all of these. Oh, that sounded quite nice. I want kind of like a bit of a harder snare in there. So now what we can start doing is we start actually layering some amen breaks over the top of this as well, just for sort of variation more than anything else. Right, so let's actually try and match the kicks and snares with these kicks and snares. So they already match up. Really what I'm looking for at the moment is just these nice little sort of shuffles. So I think that first bit's nice. But do we need this? Oh, I just want this. I'm gonna actually layer the one on top of it. I wonder what happens if we pitch it. Right, I'm just gonna add a bit of glue compressor. Right, let's make a little sizzle track. Insert return track. Okay, I'm going to call this sizzle. So we've got the shuffle here, and this is just so that we can glue it together a little bit. Made for drums. And what was one I used the other day? I think it might have been City Stone Hall. No, I think it was this one. So I'm going to take this kick out, and I'm going to process these together. Right, so we're going to take out all the low end on this kick. So I want a little bit more groove with this as well. I'm just going to lower that. You hear that? Beautiful. What we also want is a compressor that's going to sidechain one of the snares. Could we do the whole snare group? So I'm going to go snare mid. Cool. All right, so I am actually going to just record this into its own channel so that we can like mess it up as well. I'm actually really enjoying this. This has turned out pretty cool. So drum group, record. And then we're just going to go. Like that. Cool. Beautiful. So now what we can do is just like, we can actually mess this beat up a little bit. So like, let's just say that we had this play in here. We can do stuff like that. Cool. All right. So that'll do for now. So let's just start with quite a simple bass. Bass. Oh yeah, and then what we're going to do is going to modulate this, but really slowly. That's going to go through the whole wave table. Get some effects in here. Oh, that sounds nice. Try the same on here as well. Okay, cool, sounding good. What else can we do? Yeah, a bit of distortion. So what we're going to do is from 23 Serum, which is this guy, we're just going to record this into its own channel, because then we can just apply different effects to it. So these bits here, for example, are going to sound really nice if we cut out all the low, but then just kind of ham them up a little bit. But the good thing is we've also got the sub bass on the bottom that's doing exactly the same. So I think this one here, so we're going to put this in mono. Then this, when we add this in, we can do some alternative things to this. So let's try things like chucking on a thermal to see what happens. But we want a bit more reverb in here, and we're gonna automate the dry wet.
More fire.
More fire. Yeah, that's going to sound super cool. As always, guys, we're going to be using our homemade new vocal rack, which I did make.
More fire.
And the one tip about like jungle and dub and that sort of thing is when you think that you've put on enough echo, put on even more, because it just needs to keep going basically.
I
might actually send these to another return track, which is going to be drum saturation, because I do think it needs a bit more bite, if I'm honest. So we're going to want one of these guys in there and probably an overdrive. So let's try kind of like switching up this bass line so it sounds a bit more interesting. So what if we were to, in this section here, what if we just had like some nice kind of 808s that was going like dum 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 dum. That could sound cool. I wonder if we have any in the packs. No, that would be a 909. Okay, so I believe we're in E. I hope we're in E. That's what I've been trying to find everything in. E minor. I think we could do better with that 808, to be honest. Why don't I just make one? I know how to make an 808. Why am I not doing it? Maybe what we actually want now is something that's got more harmonics. And we're going to put some like saturation, overdrive, that sort of thing on there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut all of these at this. And then I want to kind of raise these up. I want it to just be a bit more aggressive, to be honest. All right, there we go. See what we can do with some thermal. If you haven't got a thermal, by the way, we'd hugely recommend it. It makes everything sound great. I also think we could automate these drums a bit more. Where's 0? Let me drop it down like 1 semitone. I think it needs to be tighter. It needs to be like that. And then what we're going to do actually is automate some kicks. So the issue that we're going to have is these kicks here are different. How are we going to do this? Isaac Simpson YT. That's the question on everybody's lips. What we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this. We're going to take it out, but this is now just going to be our side chain. And then we just need to somehow match, or actually it shouldn't take too long, because I've only really taken these two out. That's fine for that first one, which is a bit different from the second one. But the second one, I believe, it's just going to be a duplication of this. Yeah, cool. I think that's it, guys. I think that's it. So the reason that we've done that is so that we can now sidechain things like reverb. So there's one thing that I really wanted to do. So we're just going to use this reverb here. I'm going to delete that and just put in an initialized version. I'm going to put on loads and loads of reverb, but then what we're going to do is we're going to sidechain compress out the kicks. So it's going to sound I know it's going to sound cool. Okay, there's a big statement. Why is it sends only? There we go. Okay, so basically all we've done now is within this reverb here, so we're going to call this drum verb. So within the drum verb, what we've done is we've put on a lot of reverb and then a sidechain compressor after the reverb, so that when this is then enabled by automating the send, what's going to happen is we're going to get a short, sharp shock of reverb that's then going to be sidechained with this new sidechain channel that we made here. So what it sounds like with is this. You hear that? It kind of going woo, 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 woo. And what it sounds like on its own is this. And it's going to sound really nice in this bit here as well, because we've got 3 here. So I'm actually just going to dot these around a little bit. So maybe that's actually the automation that we want here. Put that at the beginning like that. So now let's give this a wee listen to. So it's just gluing it together a little bit more. Very subtle. So let's put a bit of an intro together. So let's take these drums to see what we're working with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn all of these off like that. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this back on, because I think there's a couple of little shuffles in there that we might actually want. What I'm also going to do is I'm also going to not include these shuffles on the verse, just so that we have a bit more variation as we go through. And then what we might want is some of these guys in there as well, just for a bit of variation. I think just some nice female vox in here would be good. I want some like ad libs. Yeah. I do just want to add in a couple of little effects and that sort of thing, just to kind of glue these bits and pieces together. So, as always, guys, we've been on a journey together. Actually journeyed to the jungle today and made about 75% of a song, which is pretty good for a couple of hours work. What I wasn't really expecting in this was to be cutting up so many breaks. And I also didn't expect it to be jungle. I wanted it to be more like Blade Runner, which is fine. You know, it's still a pretty cool song. So what I'll do, let me play the song from start to finish so that you can jam out.
Soldier, the natty of the soldier, me are the soldier, yeah me are the soldier, the natty of the soldier. The natty of the soldier, me are the soldier, yeah me are the soldier. The natty of the soldier, me are the soldier, yeah me are the soldier. The natty of the soldier. Soldier, the natty of the soldier, me are the soldier, yeah me are the soldier. The natty of the soldier, me are the soldier, yeah me are the soldier. The natty of the soldier, me are the soldier, yeah me are the soldier. The natty of the soldier.
Throw your gang signs up. Cool, yeah, so as you saw when we were going through, I was kind of just like editing bits. I looped this bit over here. The structure is, what I'll probably end up doing with this one is getting another jungle song and then putting that over the top and then thinking, well, this bit comes in here, this is when it breaks down, because the structure at the moment is a bit pants, but that's fine. You know, it's a work in progress. As always, guys, if you've liked the video, please do show me that you've liked the video by liking the video, by clicking like below the video. Any comments that you have, please do leave them in the suggestion box below. And if you haven't already, please do make sure that you subscribe. Obviously, we're trying to become the greatest thing that YouTube has ever seen. And to do so, we need your help. So, you know, click subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching.